It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back.
Damn. Oh my god. Alright. Holy moly. I'm just looking at all the overall for the teams. Alright, the Seahawks are 78. I'm guessing, I already know what the highest overall right now is probably the Chiefs. The Eagles are 85. Damn. Cowboys are 83. No, the Chiefs are 77 overall? Are you... What? They're 77. What? Why are the Eagles higher? I don't get it. I don't get this shit. This is weird.
Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the left. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Shit. Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna play a preseason game. Why not? Hi. Hi. Let's see. No.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday. With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
All right.
Now the young man was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie. It's Phillip Lindsay. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about
was that you in my video?
Began the year third on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado. With
channel real quick. Keep using autoflip. I don't care. That's fine. Who is this? Yeah, that was you.
Nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I just checked.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also... And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
The pass receiver turned into a runner, and then he turned into a
I got a fumble recovery touchdown.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yards.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field.
All right.
First and 10 here for Flacco. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace.
All right.
Money throw right there to move the sticks.
What is up?
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Sutton reeling it in on the left side.
All right.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync. Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice. I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, third and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
From the 16, Flacco throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches,
What is
but they
that?
make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, let's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodge 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think we're going to try and dial up on 3rd and 4?
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos.
Damn.
A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
All right.
Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now Wilson completes it to Dixon. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
You figure down in the red zone, the play call that's going to come in, find the guy who's most susceptible, the guy that you think that you can beat. In this case, they tried to...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And man, Charles, talk about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Earl Mitchell gets him down there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Lock going to throw. Here's Booker on the catch. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Block off of play action.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. That is incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. And it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
McManus's point after is good. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice roller box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards. That was Rashad Penny.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. That is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. A shotgun snap for Smith. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver.
Nice touchdown, baby. Keep working.
How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers on the scoreboard.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. On first down, it's Smith. They'll look for a drive to tie this up. Down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now Gino on first down. He's going to fire one deep over them. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. John Ursua, 51 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this
What did you do?
up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that.
You smell like dog shit.
Those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. There aren't any speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Bust through the tackle. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Give them 32 on the play.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. DeMarcus Walker. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play.
It's caught inside the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vanette as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try to hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Petty. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have the back on their heel.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller is thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Locke, and that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Well, first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me. Often that opens up enough space for him to go.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Come on, set. 94.
Throwing on first down is Locke. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped it. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Now Locke, and this is going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Flushed out right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now Myers for the extra point.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
And the lead will grow by 1 more. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Set to kickoff.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down,
Caused all of that.
it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lock. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Lock again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it again with Penny. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to...
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Rashad Penny ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So the Broncos coming out now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Lock now on 1st down. This is the tight end fan. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, I think.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Throwing now, Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, dude.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. One final try for Locke. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this the players on your team. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Just wanna be her, for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Skirt right off on the curb, like I'm I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like.
Start the regular season by selecting your season goal.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah.
Meeting your season goal comes with higher rewards, but also higher risk.
I'm gonna go let my dog out real quick, so I'll be back.
Game plan.
All right.
Bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I time to bring the bass
Okay, I'm back. Alright, let's see. What are you doing now? What are you doing, Trav? Oh, no.
The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a god. Go hop with a squad. I'm playing my part. I'm LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to do well. Don't worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together. Leave the bill for me like. Man on my heart. I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Man, on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Liberty. Yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice.
Oh, yeah. Alright, let's play this regular season game.
Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice.
Drawing book I got from teaches how to draw some intermediate and advanced drawing. I got at the dollar store. My uncle let me get. We're shopping right here, some shit. I was like, hey,
on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch,
yeah.
car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They say you switch you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hate cause I said no risk.
The Zach Taylor era begins in Cincinnati. It's the coach. This is week 1.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play.
That's caught inside the 20. And now running, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Woo.
Ed Dixon, 53 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I have a viewer.
I think of it in boxing
is it you?
Because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff.
I've had a viewer for a good long while.
2 end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Andy Dalton set to lead out this Bengals offense at the controls for the 9th year. The man out of TCU. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Dalton. Open man is Uzama. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you got to stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I could what?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown. You know,
yeah.
We're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect. And try to be aggressive on their first series.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Thank you.
Here now the offense for the Bengals.
The backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter.
Are you serious?
Run people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out.
That's bullshit.
Just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. Now, a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down.
Damn.
And Bullock will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3?
Yeah.
Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And out now come the Seahawks. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Damn.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 3.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. David Moore, 53 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown.
That drive was quick and impressive. almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Myers
What's up, Bubba?
on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one, too.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A third down gain of 19. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Dalton's pass complete to Green. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. The 20. And now off to the races, down the right side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, Show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10 to the left side here for Eifert. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it makes the score 21-10. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And an alley to run.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop him. But, boy, what a time.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the pressure gets to him again. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bengal offense now.
Yeah, I'm winning.
First here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I might play another game. I don't know.
Expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And Dalton to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm winning 21-10.
This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Nifty footwork at the 45. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On 1st down, it's Carson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here on a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So Dalton now. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
Plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss, because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
Steps away to his left. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And avoids the contact by sliding. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 24. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be caught by the tight end. It's Ed Dixon with a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You don't always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on and to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him going.
And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
Oh, shit.
On 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bengals will get the football back.
And sometimes pride wins, doesn't it? Because, yes, they're getting steamrolled here right now. They're down big, and they're going to try a fake field goal against them. Yeah, I'm not supposed to root, but good for them for stopping that one and showing that they haven't given up on this game.
Yeah, I just can't believe, though, that they tried to fake with this margin up that big. But like you said, kudos to the D.
Yeah, if the blood wasn't bad before,
it is now.
It might have started that way now.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Dalton. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a throw here to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Here's Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just
42 to 10.
Dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last
the Bengals,
week we went sushi because that's
they
what
suck.
we wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right.
Next game is against the Steelers, so
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
might be a little bit harder.
Their offense has
see.
struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now. Because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football. They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
To throw here, Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Dalton now to pass. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And what are the whistles for? A timeout.
That's pretty cool.
So they'll stop the clock.
Looks like a little dinosaur.
A game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. Complete to the right side, it's Eifert. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. It's do or die for Dalton.
Get sacked.
Big loss here as he's taken down. So the victory here for Seattle. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason.
Alright, I'm gonna probably play one more game. One more game.
How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star. Working hard. Yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what. Like, fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like, every time I touch down, I gotta stunt.
All right.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Check the stats up. You can check the scoreboard. Check the stats. Jake Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin'. You look like
It's gonna be an away game.
I'm a star in the clutch. I'm a
Start your week by installing your game plan.
game on. Took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings. I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard.
An offensive and each week. Once you've made your game plan, choose to start.
How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin'. You look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch. I'm a shine out. Working hard. Yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on. Took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings. I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard. I can never play soft. Giant in New York. I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'm a shine now.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they match up with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that,
right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now Wilson on first down. Dancing to his left. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards right off the bat. And a quick first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 12 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
22 yards there, a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. Well, they have that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. The Steelers all-time
Right after
leading
I'm done with this
passer
game.
and two-time Super Bowl champ Ben Roethlisberger ready to lead this offensive unit. And he's led them since his rookie year all the way back in 2004. They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. There are the numbers for McDonald from a week ago. 6 catches, 78 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing before.
They don't just like it, they love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They'll run here with counter. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Easy.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force them into a field goal attempt.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
A big play there out of the running game. 31 yards. $13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
We got this.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. On second and goal, Wilson, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jerron Brown. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick, but when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
12 yards there and a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards the pickup there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you just...
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Touchdown. Chris Carson His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
180.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tough.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
A 36-yard attempt.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson escaping the end zone, caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vannett, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And oh, he coughed it up.
Let's go, baby.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And now running right through it. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
And shutting him off, now open field. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taking it in from 24 yards out. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start with a give to Connor. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A gain of 13, it's a 1st down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On 2nd down, Samuels. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Now, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver. You got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes you're...
Vance McDonald, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved.
They should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back out on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield. Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Buying time to his left. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson, 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, you know, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? Well, you get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter.
No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Here we go.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The throw right sideline here is complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Returnable for Lockett. Sheds another. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They run it with Carson.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
15 yards on the play, 1st down.
I've got an idea. Let's get racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. These players are on the last year of their cap room is how much the closer your this is the player card. Here you can see your players. Here's a list of all the players that will appear in the upcoming draft. So select to scout this player and unlock his best skill. Each skill unlock will cost you scouting points. Unlock this player's true skill ranking to see if he is a... You just found a diamond in the rough.
My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Body, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't right it. We break you down like a pound. I got it. Don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted. Flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for all you got to love it like black. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like. Feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.